me? Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Giselle Gunya. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss a post.
We don't talk about a lot is like friendship breakups and how broken you are after like you feel absolutely violated when you break up with a friend. It's way and I don't.
It's a different level of trust you got with your friends.
Exactly. It's not even really comparable to a romantic breakup because like your best friend, your girls, your friends, or even your guys. I don't know from your perspective. They know stuff about you that don't nobody know in the world. And for it, like, I feel like now we're so quick to jump into friendships and we need to spend time actually developing them just like you would a romantic relationship. Because when shit hit the fan and y'all fall out, not this girl didn't tell everybody all your business, when in reality, you didn't do the vetting process enough. You was like, oh, she like on Instagram, let's all link up and hang out. No, what is she like?
Today we're diving into a topic that many of us can relate to, friendship breakups. It's a subject that often goes unspoken but can have a profound impact on our lives and relationships. We'll be exploring the emotional complexities of friendship breakups, sharing personal experiences, and watching a few videos together to gain different perspectives. I invite you to join the conversation by sharing your thoughts and insights in the comment section down below. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive into this conversation. Let's get into it. The impact of friendship breakups on future relationships, navigating emotional strain, and building resilience. Friendship breakups are often overlooked in discussions about relationships, yet they can leave a profound and lasting impact on individuals, shaping how they approach future relationships and friendships. In this video, we will explore the emotional strain caused by friendship breakups, examine their repercussions on subsequent relationships, and discuss strategies for building resilience.
I had a friend who was very much I considered like a sister. She's probably the only adult friendship I've had where I've literally fallen out with, like, ever completely. Yeah. Which is really crazy because we were like family. Yeah. And that's very, very hard. It was like a messy divorce. It was really, really weird. But the thing is, and then, you know, we posted about this the other day, like, somebody's not calling you because they owe you an apology.
Yeah. I think we all reposted it.
Repost. You know, and it's interesting because to your point, it's like, I can look at this person and say, this person was a good friend to me, but then I can also look at the ways and be like, they weren't a good friend to me, but also still have compassion for the fact that, like, I actually don't think that you intended to hurt me, but I actually know so much about you that I have compassion for the way that you don't even see yourself operating in this life. That's real. So that has actually helped me make peace with letting go of the anger I think I felt towards her for many years, because I definitely felt so hurt. And I was like, no, you knew what you were doing. And then after I was like, wait a second, you know this person intimately, very, very closely. You know why they operate like that. This is not just you. They do this with everybody. So it really allowed for me to make peace with that. And, like, even through the hardest parts and the, you know, the realities that came to surface of that relationship, as much as I could still feel hurt, I don't feel angry.
Firstly, it's crucial to acknowledge the emotional turmoil that accompanies friendship breakups. Unlike romantic relationships, where the end is often marked by clear boundaries, such as breakup conversations or separation, friendship breakups can be gradual and ambiguous. The loss of a close friend can trigger feelings of grief, loneliness, betrayal, and self-doubt. These emotions can be particularly challenging to navigate, as friendships are often seen as sources of support, understanding, and companionship. So I came across this very interesting video on TikTok of this woman speaking of her experience through her friendship breakup. But I wanted to emphasize the importance of having discernment in relationships all around, but especially friendships, because sometimes we're in unequally yoked relationships. where that person that you may be calling a friend doesn't even identify with that term for you. So think about it and let that sink in. But let's get into this video of this woman sharing her story of her friendship breakup, and the events that unfolded were truly shocking. But first, before we get into that, if you experienced a friendship breakup, what was the reason behind it? If you don't mind, feel free to comment that answer down below.
Okay, so earlier I tweeted about my friendship breakup, and honestly, it was coming from a place of just a lot of people reemerging from my past, and I just kept thinking about my former best friend, who I'm no longer best friends with. She just was top of mind for me because I randomly, out of the blue, heard from a bunch of different people that we collectively grew up with, who went to school with us, in a very short span of time, and all of that made me think of her. So I just started tweeting and telling the story of how we broke up as friends. I did not think it was gonna go viral like this at all. I'm sipping my tea because it's a little bit of tea in this story, but it was super unexpected. I do feel like I probably owe a little bit more context. I did not say, leave out any major details in the story, so you can definitely pop over to Twitter, or someone else has been recapping the story on TikTok, and I know folks have been seeing it here. But yeah, it was very hurtful because that was my girl. That was supposed to be my sister. We had been friends for legit 20 years. I was her son's godmother. I am her son's godmother. I was her best friend since I would go to I went on a family reunion cruise with her. That was my girl, and I was the maid of honor in her wedding legit less than 2 weeks before she essentially ghosted me. So it was extremely hurtful because I feel like we just as a society don't have the tools to even address a friendship breakup. I know that most relationships that I'm in are gonna end. I'm gonna date, we gonna break up, they're probably not gonna be the one. I'm prepared for that, and I can go through that and grieve that, and I can talk about it because people get the romantic breakups. But when you have a friendship breakup, who's talking about it? I actually had not had a conversation about friendship breakups at all before this, and the response was overwhelming. I ended up having to mute this because of the way that people were responding to it, which I get. The stories that I saw, that shit was hurtful, and I understand because I went through it. It was hurtful, it was confusing, it made me second guess everything about our relationship, which had been over the span of a couple decades. It made me question myself, what could I have done differently? Am I a bad person? What did I do? Why is she not talking to me? All kinds of things. It hurt a lot that that's where we were, that she would ghost me, because you feel well, damn, you didn't hold me in higher regard than that. You didn't want to at least tell me what was going on, talk about it a little bit. For you, the relationship was so disposable that you could just be all right, I'm just not gonna talk to her. That's crazy. And as I've gotten older, I definitely have learned more about grace, and where people are at in life, sometimes you just can't go there with them. And so I get that. And I'm, maybe she just had things that she didn't feel like she could talk about. Maybe she was going through stuff I had no idea about. I did know some of the stuff she was going through, but it just really hurt that someone who I consider my sister and who I was leaning on in a time where my life was crazy just wouldn't reciprocate that. So we've been friends for this long period of time. I was going through a breakup that was really crazy, and I know the girls on TikTok are asking about that breakup story, but that's a whole different story because we moved in together after a year. I learned over the course of us living together that he was an alcoholic. We were supposed to be buying a house together, and then a month before close, he had to finally confess that he had the money. That's a whole different story. I'll tell that story at some other point because that's all crazy. But I was breaking up with my boyfriend who I was living with. I would put him out the house. I was going through. I was also trying to figure out how I was going to come up with this money for my house, which was like $30,000 that I was not expecting to have to bring to the table. But if I didn't bring it, I was going to lose the $30K that I personally had already put into the house. And so I was like, I got to make something shake, rattle, and roll. So my money was super tight. But when my best friend calls me and she's in tears and she's telling me she's about to get evicted with my godson who's 6 years old, like, I know a lot of people have been asking me, why were you loaning money to her that you didn't have to give, or saying like, I never loan money to people because I know that always messes up friendships. And since then, I have definitely had an easier time saying no. Like, that was a hard lesson that I just had to learn. And so I have learned NO is a complete sentence for sure. But at the time, I just was thinking, my godson is gonna be on the streets. My best friend is about to get evicted by the sheriffs. Like, she called me like, the sheriffs are on their way over here if we cannot pay this money. They're about to put their things on the curb. This is somebody I love. This is somebody who I consider to be one of my soulmates in life. And as long as I had the means to do it, I just couldn't stand by and let that happen. So I gave her the money. And she was, with her husband at the time. She told me that they had taken a drawdown from his 401k account, and that money was coming within a couple days. It just wasn't coming soon enough to stop the eviction. So they were going to give me the money back as soon as that came. But then she said that, the drawdown was less than what they thought because taxes had come out. And so they got to figure something else out. For maybe another week, she and I were communicating via text, and she was like giving me updates, and she just stopped. Like, wasn't answering my texts, wasn't answering my calls. On the day of my house closing, God came through for me because the closing costs got revised. And because of the actual day that we were closing in the month, I was able to bring like $2,500 less to the table than what I had to, which was about the outstanding amount that she owed me at the time. And I was able to close on my house. Her husband did send me some money on my closing day. He called me. He let me know he's sending me money. He said they would send me more money. And then I didn't hear from him. I didn't hear from her again. Literally at all. That was in May of 2018. For the rest of the year and the next year, nothing. And then in 2020, she sent me a long text to apologize. Tell me I didn't deserve that, and she was very sorry. I let her know that I forgave her, and that was it. I responded, forgave her, that was it. And then in 2021, I saw her because I was in our hometown in Savannah, Georgia, and I was in her parents' neighborhood, and I loved her mama. I loved her daddy. I used to call them mama and daddy. I was literally 2 blocks away from their house for an appointment, and I was like, you know what, let me just stop by and say hi to her mama, say hey to her parents. And I had no idea she was living back with her parents. She answered the door, and I was shocked. Not only because I was not expecting to see her and I didn't know she lived with them again, but she had a whole baby that I had never seen. Like, her and her husband had another child. And I was like, wow, that really just made it really real how distant we had become. How much I was no longer a part of her life, that she had a whole kid and I had never even seen the kid. I didn't even know the kid existed. So it was just very surreal, and it definitely like opened that wound back up a little bit. 'Cause I was like, damn, I thought we were gonna be friends for life. You got a baby I didn't even know about. Like, wow. Meanwhile, I'm the godmother of your first child. So that was a lot. Since then, we talked via text like sporadically. Her dad died last year. I felt really bad because, like I said, I did love her parents, so I chipped in for, funeral expenses, and I called to check on her. But it's still, even though I went to therapy, because between the romantic breakup and that breakup, your girl needed help. I was in therapy, but it still is confusing to me, and it still leaves me with like a damn feeling. And clearly, other folks around the world feel the same way, because this tweet blew up in a way that I was not expecting. If you want to read the thread, you can. I also wrote some more about it on my blog and dove a little bit in there, so you can find that link in my bio. But yeah, y'all take care of yourselves. Friendships are relationships. They take work and they also hurt when they're over, but we gonna be alright.
The aftermath of a friendship breakup can extend beyond the immediate emotional distress, impacting how individuals approach future relationships. Trust issues may arise, leading individuals to question the authenticity of new friendships and relationships. The fear of being hurt or abandoned again can manifest as guardedness or reluctance to open up to others. Moreover, unresolved feelings from past friendship breakups can inadvertently influence interactions with new acquaintances, leading to misunderstandings or premature endings.
Something they don't tell you about friendship breakups that they should is even after the friendship breakup has ended, you've gone through your healing process, you feel pretty over it, you're at the point where there's no hard feelings, what's done is done, it's happened for the best, etc., etc. You don't realize that in the future, when you're trying to make new friends, the subconscious lies that you've carried with you from that friendship breakup haunt you. What I mean by that is, again, even if your conscious mind feels pretty over it, your subconscious mind is still holding on to the feelings that the breakup gave you. So for example, my friendship breakup left me feeling like I was too much, my excitement was too much. I was asking for too much. My emotions were too much. My everything was too much. And so I've noticed that in the midst of making new friendships, I'm holding back a lot of myself, and I've attributed it to my subconscious mind telling me, if you show your full self, they will see you as too much and they will run away. But I need to remember, and I think we all can take a moment to remember when those lies start infiltrating your head. They're lies. Don't believe them. Name them for what they are. Say it out loud and say that's not true. And also remind yourself that any future friend, any meaningful relationship you make from this point forward will covet you and appreciate you for all the things that friendship did not appreciate you for. And that's saving you from future hurt.
Breaking up with a best friend is harder than breaking up with any man. Honestly, truly. Sisterhoods and friendships are so sacred to us women. It's a different thing for us and guys. Yeah. It's so sacred to the point where we have certain levels of expectations that if you hurt me after I've let you all the way into my heart and into like my entire life and into everything that is me, it's like, how could you? That's it.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say this quick because my sister said I can't TikTok and drive. Your people is gonna find you. You don't gotta force no friendship. You don't gotta force no soul tribe. You don't gotta try to even search. Open your eye and peep the people that's entering and exiting out of your life. Your people gonna find you. But you still gotta work on yourself. But your people will find you. All right, cool.
Building resilience in the aftermath of friendship breakups involves self-care, self-awareness, and proactive steps towards healing. Engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment, such as hobbies, exercise, and creative pursuits, can alleviate emotional distress and boost self-esteem. Seeking support from trusted friends, family members, and mental health professionals can provide a safe space for processing emotions and gaining perspective.
If I could go back and change what happened between me and Nikki, I would. Because Nikki she was one of my best friends. She's a great person. Like, I have nothing bad to say about her at all. She's always been good to me, been loyal to me. She's one of the best people still to this day.
I need somebody to help me understand, what do bitches get from being a hater? Because you think you don't like me, but the whole time you're my number one fan. Like, you watch me like a motherfucking hawk. You are a federal agent. You know what I post immediately after I post it. And it's because you don't like me? Really? No. I'm a celebrity to you, bitch. I'm a whole ass star. and you think that like if you keep hating and hating and hating, nobody will know that you're the leader of my fan club. You love me. You're in love with me. It's a thin line between love and hate. You're in love.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but just because your friend and you have history does not mean you have to hold on and keep fighting for the friendship.
I'ma say it because y'all scary and I'm not scary because I can't get no whooping. When y'all make them statuses and them posting them quotes and all that, talking about how females take men back before they take their friends back, I shut the hell up because I'm one. Once I consider one to be my friend, baby, you have literally been promoted. There's no love I have ever given a man the way I have loved my friends. And I'm so serious. I done had some friend breakups that literally left me sick to my stomach. I don't know what type of friends y'all be and what type of friends y'all be having around y'all, but baby, that friendship shit to me be dead serious. One thing about me and my friends, we pick, we laugh, we pray, we play together, we do it all. And we, most importantly, expect betrayal from men. So if I'm betrayed by somebody who's considered to be my friend, baby, I did not see that coming. That hurts. 10 times out of 10 for me, I already got another nigga anyway. So a man playing in my face or me going back and forth with a man is never like nothing that deep. But my friend who I probably 10 times out of 10 show nothing but absolute love for, my friend who I probably obsessed over, my friend who I probably got up out my bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for, my friend who I probably listen over and over and over, cry on my phone, I ain't see that coming. So of course, that's going to hurt me more because I ain't never had nobody to replace you. I always had somebody to replace him. Let's be clear. So when y'all say that, I'm going to be honest. That ain't nothing but a manipulation tactic and I don't like it. But hey, who am I?
Oh, you think your friendship breakup is bad? My ex-best friend hacks my social media account every couple of months. She's hacked my Instagram, completely taken my username. Most recently on Wednesday, she locked me out of my business TikTok account, updated my name to Karma and my bio to Karma is a bitch, and I am locked out of my TikTok. And she has been doing this for over a year now. My mom always says your friend today could be your enemy tomorrow. So just be careful what kind of information you share with your quote unquote bestie, because mine hacks me every chance she gets. And the only reason I'm posting this is because she knows where I live, and if I end up missing, she's the #1 culprit. She gets a thrill out of it, and there's absolutely nothing I can do because every single time I like update my privacy settings, somehow she finds a way to get in and completely fuck with me. And I'm blocked on everything, so I can't like ask her to stop. So anyways, I hope you see this video and I hope you leave me alone and I hope you find peace because this is ridiculous. Just count your blessings that someone's not hacking your social accounts every couple of months because they hate you so much.
Y'all, when I seen that last video, I was shook and honestly, I felt for sis because we are not going to do that. But it really makes me think that in times of relationship breakups or just in general, remember that you will get through it. But it's essential to be mindful of what you share with others because not everything needs to be disclosed. As my father wisely advised, share only what you wouldn't mind getting out there and keep the rest to yourself. Give it to God or seek professional guidance. Stay strong, ladies and gentlemen, if you are listening. And remember that there are brighter days ahead. We will all get through these friendship breakups or humps, whatever it is. But I don't want you guys to only be exposing yourselves and stories, testimonies in the comment sections below, but I want to tell you about my biggest friendship breakup. Let's get into it. So we were friends for about 5 years, but it was around the 3-year mark that we became inseparable. And she was like a sister to me, and our bond was stronger than anything. We supported each other through thick and thin, but there were early challenges. Sometimes she struggled to reciprocate the support that I gave, but I openly communicated that and we worked through it. However, as time went on, we drifted apart and my interests shifted as I delved back into church and made positive changes in my life. I wanted her to transform along with me, but I failed to understand that she was on her own journey. She started hanging out with a different crowd that I didn't resonate with, and I felt the distance growing. Mind y'all, she was my only friend at the time, and I was her only friend, but she went out and found different friends, which is perfectly fine. Of course, our lives were going in two different paths, anyways, and these things happen. But when she mentioned that she was enjoying the time with these new friends more than our years of friendship, it hurt deeply. My focus was on personal growth, while hers seemed to align with more worldly activities. And despite the attempts to maintain our bond, it was never the same. Eventually, I made the tough decision to cut ties completely. That was the long story short, but I want to also acknowledge that she was an amazing friend and my sister. And she started working on herself, and I am so proud and truly proud of the woman that she's become, despite the circumstances that led to our parting ways. I deeply valued our relationship and the memories that we shared, and I wish her nothing but the best and pray that she continues to grow and is blessed in whatever season that she is in now. Okay, y'all, enough about me. Share your story down in the comment section below. How did your friendship breakup make you feel, and what happened? What caused it? And what do you do moving forward, making friends or ending friendships?
You know what fucking hurts? When you look around and realize people you thought were your friends aren't your fucking friends.
Well, hello there. I'm Denitra. I'm a wife, mom, and CEO in LA, and I had to jump in onto this one. So, as a recently 40-year-old woman, I fell out with 4 of the ladies that I thought were my ride or dies, my besties. 3 of them were in my wedding, stood beside me, held my hand, loved on me. All of them were at my wedding, my bachelorette weekend. We were literally thick as thieves, and I loved them deep. But it didn't last. Those relationships ended. They're all still friends. They travel together. They live their best lives together. And I mourned and grieved those relationships ending for years. I went to therapy about it. I'm still in therapy. I've worked past, or I'm working still past, resolving that those relationships ended. But it's hard and it hurts when you end what you thought would be forever friendships. So my encouragement to you, to anyone who is going through a friendship breakup, allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to feel the feelings, and then allow yourself to move on and build new relationships, because there is light at the end of the tunnel when friendships end. And what I found, in my case at least, once those relationships were over, my life got so much better. Like, I am literally living such a full, such a whole, such a complete life with those women no longer in my orbit. And I wish them well. I don't hold any hard feelings towards them anymore. At first it was very hard. I went through the 7 stages of grief, with ending those relationships. But I'm telling you, I truly believe that they were not for me and I was not for them. We did not need to be in each other's lives. And my life is just so full. I have amazing friendships. Do I have the same type of relationships that I had with them, where it was a big group of girls that I thought were my ride or dies? I don't have that, but I have fulfilling and solid relationships. And sometimes people just are not meant to be in your life forever.
If you've ever gone through a friendship breakup and haven't had anywhere to talk about it, I would love to talk about it here, because my friendship breakups broke my heart in ways that I never could have seen coming. And nobody ever warned me. about what that would do. There's a million pieces of media that tell us how to get over a romantic ending. There's movies, TVs, books. Where is that for the ends of friendships? Because women's friendships are the emotional foundation of our lives. Men come and go, but we are each other's keepers, each other's safe place, each other's historians, defenders, protectors. And this grief, it's just so homeless. It's wandering, you know, there's nowhere for it to go. It's not like somebody died and so my porch is full of casseroles. It's not like I was just divorced and so I'm given a few days off work. I'm just expected to go on like nothing happened, and nobody notices that my, you know, life partners of 20 something years are gone. There's no social structure to support those of us who have lost friendships like this. And every woman I have spoken to about this has said, this happened to me. And I have never known how to talk about it or who I can talk about it with. And when you're building a romantic relationship, like you're building a house, you lay a trap door into that because you know there's a high chance that eventually something will happen and that house will come down and you need a way out. You don't do that with friendships. You build that house like it's your forever home. And I never expected that to come down. And one day it just did. And it came down on top of me and it nearly killed me. Like, it feels like it's taken me over a year just to dig my way out of the rubble. So I don't know if there's a great solution, but maybe we could talk about it here and that's a start, you know, because God, the worst thing about this, besides the thing itself, is just feeling like I have to mourn and grieve so much alone. Like every room I walk into, there's this ghost over my shoulder and nobody can see it but me. But it's with me all the time. So, you're welcome to talk about it here. And if this has happened to you, I see you. And it's real and it hurts as bad as you think it does. And you're not crazy for that, for feeling that way.
Give me a hot take about friendships. I'll go first.
A friendship breakup will be the worst breakup, the worst heartache that you have ever experienced in your life. Because it'd be the connection that's so deep where y'all can read each other's minds, and it'd be the inside jokes, and it'd be the family ties, and everything that y'all have laughed about, everything that you have cried about together, every experience, every memory, everything be so intertwined. That is what's gonna get you. Forget breaking up in a romantic relationship. It be the friends that will send you over the edge. But you can recover from anything though. Don't let me deter you from a good solid friendship, because trust me, we need it. You can recover from anything.
I feel like I want to flesh out this thought, but I don't know if I have enough time. When y'all talk about friendship breakups, I want y'all to start distincting between a friendship breakup / fallout and simply just growing apart. Whenever I hear someone say, oh, we used to talk all the time and then we slowly just, drift apart, I don't hear from them that often. We don't hang out as often. I don't share personal things with them and vice versa. 9 times out of 10, that points to you guys just being in different places in life, which is going to happen. I'm not even going to pretend that it doesn't hurt, because it does, but I've learned at this point not to take it personally. I remember when I went to my first wedding as an adult, one of my best friends got married. And when I walked to my car from her ceremony, there was like this overwhelming feeling. I can't really describe it, but I could feel like a planetary shift happening in my life. I think I felt deeply scared, and my gut knew that our friendship would change from that day on. And so she's been married for like a year and some change, maybe 2 years this year. And this is somebody that I've known since I was like 15. We used to talk every day. We used to hang out very often. Now we don't. And I started to see her like post on Facebook, hanging out with her other friends who have children, other friends that are married. And my first initial reaction was purely coming from my ego, which was saying, oh, she doesn't like you, she traded you for new friends, blase blase. And I had to put myself in her shoes. That's number 1. And number 2, I decided to have an uncomfortable conversation with her. I called her and I told her, hey, I'm really happy for you. I hope you're doing well. I just want you to know that I miss you, and I've been struggling with losing you as a very close friend. And she broke down and she was like, I'm so grateful that you even talked to me about it, because it's been hard for me to get married and have my friends feel like I don't care about them anymore. And so me being able to be vulnerable with her in that moment just solidified that it wasn't a friendship breakup. There was absolutely no malice there. We just drifted apart, and that's what life will do as you get older. But the mutual respect and love that I have for her and vice versa doesn't go anywhere. It still exists. So I guess my underlying message from this is that if you find that someone that you once were extremely close to, and you measured that by how often you would see them, how often you guys would hang out, if that dynamic changes due to major life changes and developments between either of you, the love that you have for that person doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't disappear. It just evolves and it changes. Give people the space and the permission to grow and evolve throughout life, as you will too. And hopefully that helps you come to terms with a friendship breakup or drifting apart.
A lot of us have experienced friendship trauma. Shit, we can get scarred.
Yeah, we have wounds.
But the goal here is to not let this prevent you from forming new friendships.
Yeah.
Because then we're isolated, we're alone, and we're like, okay.
I hope, for everyone's sake, that it doesn't get to the point where you no longer see the importance or the value around friendship, because literally your life is depending on it.
It is.
Your happiness, your joy, your mental health is depending on you being in community with someone. You just have to be willing to communicate and allow yourself to be open to the possibility of other friends, new friends, better friends, more aligned friends.
Hey y'all, it's Dr. Joy here, and if you are like me, you may have seen these pictures of Jordan and Kylie presumably having a dinner together, which has sparked rumors that they may be rekindling their friendship. And while I don't know the details of what's going on with them, I do think that this is an opportunity for us to ask ourselves some questions if we find ourselves in the same situation of considering resuming a friendship. And so the first question we can ask ourselves is, what has changed? So what's different about the friendship now that wasn't present before? Is there evidence of changed behavior? Has whatever barrier got in the way before been removed? What would be different about the friendship this time? So that's the first question. And then the second question I think we can ask ourselves is, am I really interested and invested in rebuilding a friendship with this person, or am I just lonely? And I think a lot of times what happens is that we are just missing the history of this person. This person has been there for lots of milestones, and so we really are reticent to give that up. But when we think about it, we're really not interested in rebuilding with this person. We really miss what this person represented in our lives. So keep those questions in mind if you are considering whether you want to resume a friendship or not.
So before we wrap up today, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in today and being a part of this important conversation. Your engagement, insights, and support make this community vibrant and meaningful. Remember, navigating friendship breakups is a journey, and we're all in this together. I encourage you to continue sharing your thoughts and experiences in the comment section down below, as your perspectives enrich our discussions and help us grow. Thank you once again for joining me today, and until next time, take care, stay strong, and cherish the meaningful connections that you have in your life right now. Bye for now. Thank y'all. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and leave your stories down below. Bye!
Can you focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?